Chapter 10, Forecasting, Segment 4. This segment deals with types of time series components. The first one has to do with cycle, where you have an increasing or decreasing demand over long time periods. This is different than a seasonal demand in which you buy stuff for the summer, but you don't buy it in the fall or winter perhaps. This is usually oftentimes more than 1 year in duration. For example, for women, it could be that, a number of years ago that low-rider jeans were very popular. They're not anymore. For men, it might be skinny jeans. Now, I don't know if too many people wear skinny jeans. I just don't know. But obviously, even if they do, it's not going to be long before something else becomes favorable. Bell-bottom jeans, for example. All right, so that's a cycle. Seasonality. A regular repeated pattern of an increasing and decreasing demand. It can be a yearly pattern or even a daily pattern. So a yearly pattern is you buy swimsuits perhaps in the spring. You don't typically buy them in the fall. Typically, okay? Or it could be that you buy snow shovels in the fall and winter, but you don't buy them in the summer. Those would be examples of yearly patterns. A daily pattern would possibly be meals, pancakes. May have seasonality in terms of they occur primarily in the morning, not exclusively, but primarily people eat them in the morning. Okay, the next one is a trend, an increase or decrease in the average demand over time. So a lot of companies like to do this. For example, the iPhones. If you have an iPhone 12, well, there's going to be an increase in demand initially on that, but then over a period of time, there's going to be a decrease in demand, especially as they phase in, the next generation's iPhones, iPhone 13, iPhone 14, whatever. And so there's an increase in demand, and sometimes later there's a decrease in demand. Okay. Level is things are just pretty much constant. Random error is really error that you have little spikes that aren't really attributed to any of those things. Like, let's say, for example, you have somebody who comes into town that is famous for liking Jelly Bellies, like President Reagan was, a number of years ago. Well, let's just say he came to the area. You might see a spike in Jelly Belly sales just as he moves through the area. Who knows? And so random error, it's not really, it's kind of like it's not specific enough to warrant a trend or seasonality or cycle. It's just a blip. And it could be a blip in the other direction as well. And it's just hard to tell what is really causing it necessarily. And that concludes the types of time series components.